Welcome to the WEB3 Experience.
Welcome everybody to the WEB3 Experience podcast. My name is your boy Frantu.
And I'm NFTs with Nate. And yeah, welcome back here we got episode 1 here, and we have a special guest on that, we're excited for you guys to listen to. It's a valuable member of the PA community, and, it's just going to be an awesome interview.
Absolutely, man. He's a pretty busy guy. It took us some time to get his attention, to get him to hop on here, so we're really happy that, he's coming on.
Your boy Fran, how you doing, man? It's been a little bit.
Man, I've been doing good, just working a lot. You know about this Web3 accelerator thing, so I've been slaving away at that. Other than that, I've been doing pretty good. How about you, man?
Yeah, same old, man. Just grinding like usual. And I've noticed in the past couple weeks, I've definitely gone down in my Discord usage. That's one thing that I'm glad too. I feel like my mind was just always on. I gotta be in this Discord and that one and talking here, talking there. And then I finally got to the point where I don't know if it was burnout or, hey, this is dumb. What the hell am I doing? I got my assets in a good spot. I'm happy where my current NFT investments are. It's a little weird stage right now in the market where there's not anything too good. Everything seems to be 3D art, this and that. I think I tweeted this actually a while ago, or about a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. But I think there was going to be a switch in kind of how the NFT market was going to go. And we're in that stage right now. We're in the switch stage where these projects that saw the success happening back in December and January with the mints, that's where they were building back then, and now they're going to launch. And I mean, it's just not. It's the 3D art. It's trying to hype these projects up too much. Retweet for whitelist, this, that, and we're going to see a switch. And I'm excited for that. And that's going to be the next kickoff of a bull run, if you will. There's going to be a lot more intriguing projects and innovative, and it's not just going to be, hey, react to this message for a whitelist. There's going to be a lot more there. There's going to be NFT projects going to start solving problems. It's not just going to be, hey, we're separated from the rest because we have utility. Okay, what is utility? And then people advertising their utility as, we're going to be an alpha group or something. We're going to see a switch, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully some projects can do some innovative things to actually catch our attention rather than doing the same thing as everyone else and just riding that hype train. Speaking about Discord, though, Psychedelics Anonymous Discord got compromised the other day. How do you feel about that? Were you scared?
And how? And I saw something. Yeah, what happened is, and this happens from time to time, and that's why you have to take proper security measures for yourself in your Discord account. If you do not have two-factor authentication configured within your Discord, please do it right now, and I'll walk through how to do it. You just go to, it's like privacy or security settings, and then all you have to do is download a Google Authenticator app, and you just implement the code into it, and every single time that you log into Discord and say someone compromises your password, they're not going to be able to get into Discord because they're going to have that 2FA application, and you're only going to have that on your own cellular device or computer. Absolutely. So just do yourself a favor. You're never too. Everybody thinks, oh, if that person got hacked, it's never going to be me, but it's only not going to be you until it is you. Yeah. So take that extra step, configure that 2FA. What ended up happening was one of the moderators, I believe.
Yeah, one of the mods, I think.
She got her Discord compromised, and they essentially they posted a link to a fake Psychedelics Anonymous website about a divine entity MP, which we don't know what MP means yet, to mint the DEMP, and I think 2 people ended up clicking on the link. Not sure if they actually connected or not. Did not really see anything around that, but Psychedelics, or the moderator, came out and said that he or she will do everything in their power to reimburse the people if anybody did get compromised, which is very professional on their end. And then they also came out with a full write-up of what happened and how they're going to take steps to prevent it, and how we should take it upon ourselves too as individuals to make sure that these things don't happen, because you see it every single day.
Yeah,
It's these
every day.
this Discord got hacked, that Discord got hacked, and it's really 99% of those will go down if everybody just configures 2FA. It's the most secure way of, or the easiest way, I guess, in securing and most effective your account.
No, yeah, absolutely. And also, Psychedelics Anonymous took down that link within, 35 seconds it was?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I feel bad for the people that ended up clicking, but it's just, if you're on, and that's just security tip, is never, if it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know a lot of people don't have time. They don't have time to be going and jumping in and staying on top of everything, game theory, this, that, but just know that no project is going to offer a mint after they already minted.
No.
It's just not a thing. If it is, they would communicate, and you would know. You would know loud and clear, and yeah. So
Yeah, man. So that was our little security alpha for the day. Now, let's hop into our interview with our very special guest.
And everybody, welcome on Glizzies. Glizzies is 20 years old, from Georgia. He's an NFT trader and investor, a Psychedelics Anonymous star community member, and future NFT project owner. Welcome, Glizzies. Glad you could make it and talk to us here on the Web3 experience.
Yeah, thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, man.
So we wanted to really just get you on, talk through kind of your journey and experience through the NFT space, Web3 space, and maybe hopefully I know you're a man of alpha, so along the way our listeners and they might get a daily dose. So so how did you start your NFT journey? We want to hear how you started, how you got into the world's best NFT project, Psychedelics Anonymous.
Yeah, so back in November of 2021, I started to hop on the VV train, and I made a couple buys on VV, and that's when my NFT journey really started. And then I was like, wait, these are kind of fake. Let's buy some real NFTs, And that's when I started digging into stuff like Mechaverse. Let's see, I was looking into some rugs at the time. I was looking at the IMX marketplace, and that's really where it all started, and now we're here.
Yeah, so speaking of rugs, right? What happened with Pixelmon, man? You think Pixelmon's rug?
Pixelmon. Now, Pixelmon's quite the story, gentlemen. So Pixelmon, as you all know, was a very hyped up project. Like, everyone thought this was going to be the next blue chip, and everyone was super hyped about it. They had a locked Discord. It was really hard to get into that Discord too, and tons of grinding was going on there. And during launch, they decided to do a 3 ETH Dutch auction, and they sold out. They sold out fairly quickly. The team raked in about $70 million, and as we all know, after that art reveal, a lot of the buyers were unhappy because the art was, to say the least,
It was trash.
not worth $70 million.
That art was unbelievable. How did as a project owner that just raised over $70 million, you don't have anybody in quality assurance at that last second checking all 10,000 images? That doesn't cross your mind. That is absurd to me.
Yeah. And on top of that,
No,
it was
it's
an undoxed
unbelievable.
team, too. It was an undoxed team. Or an undoxed guy that doxed after the release. He ended up being some
Yeah, that did
21-year-old
happen.
kid.
So I was actually big into Pixelmon. The way they marketed that project was unreal. They had separate Twitter accounts for the whitelist and this and that, and just to get in, and it was a genius marketing strategy. But I'm glad I wanted to ape in. I'm glad it started at 3 because there was no way I was going to go there. But if it was around a 1 ETH, then I would have considered. I would have been kind of screwed. So
Yeah, I don't know. Pixelmon is
What?
something else.
why do you think, Lizzie? What what do you think's up with these? Do you think there's less rugs and what do you think of the community kind of being able to point things out? Because a couple months ago, I feel like every project was or could have been a rug, and now I feel like the community is so strong, the NF community as a whole, where just for example, Antonio Brown was promoting that Punk's 3D Punks project or something the other day. And just immediately Twitter swarmed in and just attacked him and figured out, and everybody knows now, and kind of made him a clown just for doing that. So I'm curious in your thoughts of how you've seen the community, NFT community as a whole, come together on Twitter over the past couple months here, and where do you think it's headed in the future?
Yeah, so definitely a lot more people are educated now. I mean, even if the products were rugs, they did always have like an education channel. And I think because of that, people are now being a lot more cautious of what they invest into and are looking deeper into projects. And honestly, like Antonio Brown did, like people, if you do that, you're gonna get destroyed by Twitter community. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people that still aren't that knowledgeable, and that are a lot of new people are coming into this space. So in terms of the amount of rugs, they haven't gone down. If anything, they've gone up. But a lot less people are falling for them, and people, the gens will now knowingly buy into a rug and try to flip it up. So, and they'll try to flip it into volume, and there's traders like that out there, and you can't stop them. And I think because of those people, we are seeing a lot more newer people kind of fall for these rugs, because people are going to be like, I'm buying this. And then noobs are going to come in and they're going to buy it with them, but they're not going to know when to sell. And they're going to lose some money, and maybe that'll deter some people. But overall, in the NFT space, we have seen an increase of educated individuals, and it's looking good. The future's looking pretty good.
Yeah. What do you think the launch of Coinbase's NFT platform is going to do? Do you think there's going to be, because you think, I mean, Coinbase is not going to put up with any sort of rugs, or do you think they're going to add something into their platform that maybe educational, or I guess how do you see Coinbase NFT maybe doing their part in improving the overall economic or the overall operations, I guess, of the NFT market? Because obviously right now it's difficult to get in, and then you fall for an AB or Antonio Brown post. I feel like there's a lot of people that could start off, and I remember my journey when I started off, everything looked good. So someone could say, "Oh my, Antonio Brown's partnered up here," and there you go, you lose your first investment, and then your sentiment on the NFT or the NFTs as a whole it goes down extremely, and there's your liquidity sucked from the market. So
Yeah.
so
In terms of Coinbase, I think they're gonna be. Well, you know how bad OpenSea is with their support and listing stuff and taking down stuff. But I think in terms of Coinbase, they're gonna have a little bit. They're gonna be a little bit stricter than OpenSea. And as of now, we know that they're only partnering with quality projects, like projects that are of a caliber that will most likely not be a rug. Maybe they won't be sustainable, but we know now that they're not a rug. So I think that they're gonna have like a little bit of a layer of security there, but it is a free market. It is a new market. So people are gonna have to learn about how to trade safely. And honestly, Coinbase Marketplace is gonna be groundbreaking, because the only other competitor to OpenSea is LooksRare, and we all know that no one trades on LooksRare.
Yeah, no, I don't trade LooksRare at all.
No, I don't either.
I just don't. The one thing that I like about OpenSea is the UI is good, and it's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. When I went to LooksRare and tried it, it felt like I was doing something foreign. It just felt weird.
Mm.
No,
Yeah, I mean, the interface is definitely not as great, and it's not as aesthetically pleasing, and they only work with Wrath Ether, so I don't really like that either. And to be honest, Coinbase Marketplace is going to be a huge competitor, because if you've seen those teaser clips that they put out of the marketplace and how to use it, it looks nice. It looks really nice, and I think we're going to see some big things from them. Like, Honestly, a lot of people use Coinbase. It's the most popular centralized exchange in the world, so
No,
it's gonna
yeah,
be good.
absolutely. So you mentioned how you started getting into VV in November. Is that like when the beginning of your NFT journey started completely?
Yeah, literally the first NFT I bought was a BB NFT. Well, actually, let me correct myself. The first NFT I bought was a rug NFT on the IMX marketplace.
Oh, Mutable X, man. Yeah, I was looking into Mutable X back in the day too, and I wasn't really successful on IMX, but it was cool. I think that idea was great. Um,
I mean, I learned a lot from it. Definitely
yeah.
learned a lot from it.
So considering you started in November, and that's when Voltura and Psychedelics Anonymous really started marketing Psychedelics Anonymous. Did you like hop on that immediately? Like, how'd you get? Were you whitelisted for Psychedelics Anonymous? Like, how'd you get whitelisted, or how'd you get into the PA community?
So, funny story. I actually was not whitelisted. I was not there for the whitelist games. I actually found psychedelics. I think it was 2 days before Mint. Yeah, it was like 2 days before Mint. I came across a Mechaverse post on Instagram, and it said top 3 projects to look out for, potential blue chip projects. And I was like, all right, let me see. So the first one was psychedelics, and I was like, this one looks dope. I want to buy this.
Yeah.
That was the selling point for me. This one looks dope. And then I went into the Discord. I took a look, and back then I knew, okay, look at who the founders are, look at the roadmap, look at what their vision is, and I just went to the team channel, and I was like, I'm in. Count me in right now. Like, I looked at the roadmap. I was like, oh, excuse me, this roadmap is nothing, but the team's cool. The team's really good, so let's buy this. And of course, I tried buying the public then because I couldn't whitelist. It was too late to whitelist then. And I lost in the gas war, but I was able to secure 2 passes, 2 of each pass, and a component. And then I bought a Genesis, my Genesis. I bought it on OpenSea for 0.45
Oh yeah.
during that time. Yeah, so
You we actually me and your boy Fran talked about this on our first intro podcast, but do you remember back in that time frame it was More Than Gamers and Psychedelics Anonymous were the 1-2 that they were battling on Twitter. Everybody was saying, hey, I want this one, I want that one. Even Voltura and Kirsch, which is the one of the leaders in More Than Gamers, they were subtweeting each other and whatnot, and I actually ended up buying More Than Gamers instead of PA at the time. And I, just thinking back on that moment, I'm jealous of you that getting in at under 0.5. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And how crazy is it that all those components took 2+ days to mint out?
That helped me out a lot, to be honest. I minted 3 more during those 2 days. I was like, whatever, I'm scooping up as much as I can.
yeah, looking back on it, I didn't see any value in the components. Like, I was like, oh, this burns? It's deflationary? All right, cool. Let me just grab one and see where it goes. These passes are cool, though. I like what these passes are saying.
Yeah.
So I bought 2 of each pass instead of buying more components. But going back to More Than Gamers, I never really saw it, to be honest. Like, I saw it in, like, the PA Discord chat, and people were talking about it. And then I was like, let me take a look at this project, right? So I took a look at it, and I was like, I don't like the art. I personally don't like the art. And it reminded me of Clone X,
Yeah.
which it was a Clone X derivative. And then I was like, yeah, this looks cool, but I can't, one, I couldn't afford it. And 2, there was a lot of fun. So I was like, I'm going to stay away from it. So that's what I did.
Smart move. Smart.
Yeah, smart.
So I'm the only one of the 3 of us that was whitelisted for this project, and coincidentally, I got whitelisted twice, which kind of sucked because like you can't mint twice. But yeah, it was cool. I was lucky enough to be following Voltura when he like had 7K followers, like before he even started marketing Psychedelics Anonymous. So I was competing against 10, 20,000 people by the time I got whitelisted, and then about 30,000 people when I got whitelisted again. But yeah, for some reason, when I saw psychedelics the first time, I was like, dude, this is gonna be the next big thing. I even made a tweet, and I was like, it was one of those tweets where like remind me in a year, and like that Twitter bot answers back.
Yeah, yeah,
remind me
yeah.
in a year. I was like, Psychedelics Anonymous is gonna be one of the biggest brands in the NFT space, and this was back in like December that I tweeted this, or like early December that I tweeted this, and so like now that we're at where we're at, I feel way more confident in that tweet. But back then, it just showed like the conviction I had for the project, and that's why like I literally put all my liquidity into PA. When whitelist happened, and I remember like the floor was around like 0.4, 0.5 right after the whitelist sale or in the public sale, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like I was so confused. I was expecting like a 5 ETH, 10 ETH floor, like I was expecting some Mechaverse numbers. And when I was seeing like points, I was like, what's going on? Like this is so weird. Then More Than Gamers at the time released their whitelist sale the same day as Psychedelics Anonymous public sale, and like just the whole thing, that whole beef that was happening. And like the MTG was at like 0.4, 0.5, around the same amount as Psychedelics, and I was like, they minted at 0.2 and they're at 0.4. Psychedelics minted at 0.088 for a Genesis and they're at 0.4. What's going on? This is weird. And then we skyrocketed, they plummeted, and I thought it was really cool. Yeah, I was trying to get whitelist for More Than Gamers as well, and then I never got it, and the team was super unresponsive. Like, they tried to do the same thing as Voltura and Munchie and Crimson, where they were like responding back to people. They kind of gave off that vibe they were gonna do that, and then they didn't. And so I was like, all right, I don't know how I feel about this, but no, that's cool. So like, what really differentiated Psychedelics Anonymous from other projects for you to really have that conviction to not only buy it but to not sell it? When floor hit like 2 ETH, 3 ETH, because from 0.4 or 5 mint of a Genesis to a 2 ETH, that's a great flip. So what made you want to keep holding and keep staying in the community?
Yeah, so going back to what you said about like your conviction post, like remind me in a year how this goes. I was actually spamming the hell out of this project on my Snapchat.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be a competitor to like the top projects. And some of my friends were actually like, I'm buying this right now. I was like, you better, right? And the reason I didn't sell, as everyone knows by now, I was really hooked on the game theory. Like, I was at a pretty low point in my life then. I had just started. Well, for those that don't know, I am a recovering drug addict, and I had just started to get sober. And this was a way for me to take my mind off of things. This was a way for me to keep my mind engaged, so that I didn't relapse or I didn't feel like I needed to do drugs or smoke weed or anything like that. And this was actually a really good outlet for me. And that's what just kept me here, because the community was so welcoming of that. And that's what this project is about. It's about helping people that need that mental health. So that's what really kept me from flipping this. It was that sense of community and all the support I've gotten in the past. And honestly, there's no other project like this, and I really don't plan on selling.
Man, first I want to say congratulations, and I'm proud of you for getting over that.
Thank you.
Drug addiction is hard. I've been through that, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, no, big ups to that, and I'm glad Psychedelics was a good outlet, because at the end of the day, all you really need is that outlet to kind of sway your motives away from what you really want to do and what your body's telling you to do and what your mind is telling you to do. So that takes a lot of conviction, within yourself, and self-restraint. So that's awesome, and I'm glad that Psychedelics Anonymous was there for you, because think about the name. Psychedelics Anonymous sounds like Alcohol's Anonymous, sounds like Narcotics Anonymous. It sounds like something like that. So it's actually a kind of cool and funny how that works, how that gave you that effect, like indirectly.
Yeah, like it was, quite frankly, this project has been life-changing for me, and for the better.
That's awesome.
So I hope for the best in the future.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and I echo what your boy Fran was saying. I mean, that's awesome, and you are, I mean, anybody in PA would tell you, you are probably the #1 community member.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you are. I remember my buddy, he bought into PA a couple weeks ago, and I immediately texted him, here's the people you need to follow, and Glizzies was number one. Well, Voltura was number one, obviously. Voltura, and then it was Glizzies, and I told them to follow Gold Skull and a couple other community members. The PA community page. I mean, what you guys are doing on that front is just I mean, and it's just you can't put into words how awesome it is.
Yeah.
To see that and be a part, and it feels good for every member to be a part of that. And although you guys aren't the PA community page and all you guys are doing, and even your own as your own brand, your own Twitter account, even though you're not Voltura, I mean, you guys are literally driving the ship from the community aspect. It's hard to wrap your mind around, but people that are in the community and follow you guys in this every day, they can relate, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, no, I actually have a hard time wrapping my head around how much sway my word has. Like sometimes I have to watch myself. Yeah, no, the community's great, and I love being a part of it. I love being a leader for the community, and I love all the support that everyone gives me. I mean, you guys are here interviewing me, so yeah, I mean, I love it, and I'm here to stay.
No, yeah, absolutely.
What do you think the current state of PA is right now? I know there was some, I wouldn't say controversy around the last spaces, but people may have been expecting something that didn't, this, that. Now the whole Imagine Reality, C3 burnings coming in. I mean, so much is going on right now. What's your take on the current state and where we're going here in the next month or so?
So, in terms of like overall state of how psychedelics is right now, I think we're still sleeping. We're still a sleeping giant. Like, Vultura is marketing the Imagine Reality phase of psychedelics to the holders. Like, we're not expanding right now. So, I'm extremely bullish on this. I loved that video that he put out.
Oh my god.
And
Awesome.
yeah, and the products that he teased us, like the snake skin and metal mask, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, I have no words. Honestly, like, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for what the future holds. I mean, in like a month, we're probably gonna, who knows, we might be at like 5 beats floor, but in honesty, we're probably gonna sit around here for a couple months, unless we have a big catalyst, like catalyst big enough to drive us up. And we know Burning's going to be coming. C3 might be coming along the way. And that should really drive the market up a little bit. In terms of long term, if you look at the Bored Ape Yacht Club chart, and we're about 2 months into our project. If you look at where they were about 2 months into their project, we're sitting around the same price. And I'm not saying we're going to be the next Bored Apes. We're not. Like Vulture said, Bored Apes is Bored Apes. But in terms of like a macro scale, looking at other successful projects, and we know that we're building something that will last. We're building a blue chip here. I think that we have a lot of potential to go 100, 150, 200 each, you know?
No, yeah, I feel the same way. And like when it comes to the Imagine Reality and the masks and everything, I saw a couple people tweeting, and they were like, you know, what is this gonna do to benefit, you know, the Psychedelics Anonymous Genesis holders? Like, this isn't gonna, you know, raise the floor. This isn't gonna do this and that. And I was thinking, like, that mask is such a cool collectible. Like Vulture said in that Spaces, people are holding that Bored Ape Yacht Club basketball in a glass case. They have the beanies, they have the sweatshirts, the hoodies. They wear them out in public. And yeah, we're gonna get merch, but now we're getting this Bored Ape Yacht Club type basketball collectible, which is a mask of our own Genesis. Like, that is one of the coolest concepts, especially since it's not gonna be cheap. It's gonna be very, like, well made. I think that's great. I think it's like, maybe the one takeaway I would give to Voltaire is maybe don't hype it up the way he hyped it up, you know, where it's like this is going to be like a game-changing thing for us. Because to be honest, it is and it isn't at the same time. Like, it didn't drive the floor price up. If anything, it made the floor go down because people were buying the news and then they sold, or buying the rumor and then they sold the news or whatever. That statement. But like, I just think it's so cool. Like, I can imagine just having my mask sitting like on my desk or sitting on my dresser or sitting somewhere just cooped up. Let's say Psychedelics Anonymous does hit a Bored Ape Yacht Club 4 in a year, 2 years. That mask is going to be so valuable because it's going to be scarce. It's going to be just the ones that people
Oh no,
order
it's gonna
and
be
people buy.
priceless.
It's priceless. It's a priceless like item that will become an antique in years to come. So I think it's like so cool. But the one thing I didn't like was that we have to burn C1, C2, and C3 to get the psilocybin NFT to then create Divine Entity. I don't want to burn all that ETH, man. Like that's the way I'm seeing it. Like in my head, I'm
Glizzies is
just like,
burning. I see his tweets. He's burning.
Hey man, all I'll say is you should burn. People should burn.
nah, I
People
know
should
Glizzy's
burn.
tactic. He's a true tortoise. He's trying to convince people with his platform to burn so the price goes up. That's what he's trying to
But
do.
I'm not trying to pump my bags. I'm trying to pump everyone else's bags. You know. There's a deflationary aspect.
Yeah, dude.
So
And-
do you think the divine entity, which I have no idea what's going to be, PFP potentially. Now you think with the, I know Voltaire is not going the route of the Bored Apes, the serums and mutants and whatnot, but do you think the divine entity, since it'll be a limited quantity, would exceed the Genesis, or is Genesis? I know he always says Genesis is Genesis. But do you kind of see that happening, or what's your take on that?
So my take on this is, I'm gonna spit a little bit of early game theory. I found on the roadmap that if you look at like the Genesis part of the roadmap, there was a cube or there was a square. I think. I don't know if it was. Hang on, let me pull up the website. Roadmap. So it was the Ascension. So the Ascension is the icon there is a square. There are two squares overlapping each other. There's a dark square over a light square. And if you look at the divine entities, it's what you call a tesseract, which is a cube inside a cube. And from there, I suspected that the divine entities will stem from our original PFPs or from our original Genesis. Kind of like the Bored Apes, where you put that mutant serum on there and your mutant is spit out from the original. But in terms of supply, we know we're suspecting that the divine entities collection is going to be used for community expansion. Now, I think how they're going to do that is we are going to have the divine entity MPs, and we are going to be able to choose whether we use them or not. So the original supply will probably be 9595 or less. But in order to appeal to community expansion, we're probably going to expand that supply later on. And that doesn't seem very Vulture-esque. It's just me putting on my tinfoil hat. But could happen, could not. I know nothing.
Yeah. That's how it feels like. It feels like as much as we hear alpha from him and read his tweets, read the lore and everything, at the end of the day, we still know nothing. Like, we have all our theories. We have, like, potential, like, routes this project can take. We know what's happened in the past with different projects, but we just have no clue what Voltaire is thinking, what he's doing, because his main thing is innovating and doing something that's never been done before. And so people are comparing this psilocybin NFT to, like, a mutant serum. And he talked about how divine entities in the spaces is going to be, like he said, if we were blown away by the Genesis, then divine entities is going to blow us away even more. It's something we, like,
Yeah.
And personally, I think the mutants look better than the original Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. Like, that's just how I personally feel, but the floor doesn't really indicate that. Obviously one is more valuable. I have a weird feeling that because we're going to be doing all this burning, we're going to be, sacrificing our ETH and our NFTs to get this psilocybin, to get this divine entity. I think that the divine entity personally is going to be more valuable than the Genesis, even though the Genesis will hold more utility, if that makes sense. That's just like my take.
Yeah, I mean, if the demand is there for a prettier PFP, then yeah, it will definitely be more valuable. But we know that whatever you burn, the utility is going to carry over. That's been stated early on, and it'll give players that burn kind of that sense of safety, that like my investment is secure because my utilities carry over. Like you're still gonna earn Psi if you burn your C1. You're gonna have a new NFT now, and just based on how the market works, that NFT should be worth what you burned. Like it adds up to that. And we also know that the psilocybin is going to have more utility than what is burned. So just keep that in mind. And I think for those that are listening, you should keep that in mind and burn some stuff.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure yet. I need to get a second set first. I have.
Yeah, that's probably smarter idea.
All I need is another Genesis to complete my second set. But then I would need C2 and PAP. What's up with PAP? What do you think PAP? Like,
I don't know, man. It's so vague. There's not enough information. Like it says that it has metaverse utilities, and then we know that we think that it could produce the book NFT. I mean, this is the book NFT, but he says there's more to it. Montreal says there's more to it, but
yeah.
What the hell do I know?
Yeah, man. I have no idea either. I think it's just so cool. I think this project, usually project's hype lasts up until reveal, and then kind of dies down. It just consists. I feel like our hype has been, we were underrated, and now we're going up and we're still underrated. That's how it feels. It feels like we're all so still in tune. You know, you're still getting hundreds of people in the PA spaces daily, which I think is incredible after 2 months. You know, consistent daily spaces that are happening like literally almost 24 hours a day. Different community members holding them. I just think it's so cool, and I don't know if that's, I can't tell if that's Voltura's fault or not, or if it's the investors and the members that are doing this for the project. So that kind of segues into the next question that we have for you is, how do you think founders of NFT projects and brands, how do you think they should implement this type of community into their projects, or if it's just kind of like a luck of the draw type thing, where it's like if you attract the right people, you get the good parts of a community. So like, what do you think as an aspiring founder, and what founders should be doing right now in the space? What do you think they should do better, or should do less of, or anything along those lines?
So, as someone that is trying to launch their own NFT brand, I think that what founders need to start doing is provide incentive for your buyers to stay, your investors to stay. Like psychedelics, we know that the incentive to stay is we get airdrops, we get to play this game, and we have this sense of community. Now, building a community is the hardest part of the project, but I think the way we can go about that project can go about that is implement some sort of game, some sort of play to earn system. It doesn't have to be a direct play to earn system. It doesn't have to be something where people have spent hours upon hours on, like psychedelics. It's optional, but give your investors a way to have fun while they're in it, to build relationships with other community members, and while they're at it, make some money. And I think that's the best way to approach it. Building a community doesn't happen overnight. It's not easy, and with psychedelics, I think I don't think Vulture planned for the community to be this tight knit. I mean, obviously we have the mycelium, and the mycelium is popping, but the spaces, stuff like that, it was us. It was really the community that drove this project to that caliber. And new projects I wouldn't say need to, but should take note of what we have done here and try to build a community that way.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that. We started off, and you just mentioned you're building your own NFT project, and everybody loves a little daily dose of alpha. So, there's anything you want to talk about that project? Maybe some things you're working on, the hardest aspects of it. What should we possibly look out for? But hey, if there's nothing, and you want to keep us on your toes, we'll stand our toes as well.
Let's see. What can I talk about? Without getting in trouble? How about, okay, so we're not far out from having an official Twitter page. I'll just say that. And I'll just say stay tuned, because I am building something that's going to be fun, and it's going to be very rewarding for players. And we're going to have very good IRL utility. Very good.
Love that.
So I guess my next
But
question
don't get
is,
too hyped. Don't get too hyped now. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So don't get too hyped now. But we're gonna. I'll say we'll be quick with the IRL utilities. We'll be quick with it.
so my question is on top of that is, how do I get whitelist for it?
When whitelist.
When whitelist?
I don't know. I mean, maybe some of you guys already have it. I'm sure some listeners already have it. They're up for you.
Cool.
All right, Glizzies, ready for a little fire round here?
Hit me, man.
All righty. Do Chipotle or Taco Bell?
Chipotle.
What's your go-to Chipotle order?
All right, so it's gonna be a bowl with a lid on top, and we're gonna have brown rice, half steak, half barbacoa, fajitas, pico de gallo. I love the shit out of my Chipotle bowls, man. Oh, don't forget tortillas. Sorry.
You have to.
So pico de gallo,
It's,
steak sauce.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta have tortilla, man.
Favorite book?
Favorite book? Ooh. This is gonna take me way back. I'm actually looking at it right now. My favorite book's actually, it's gotta be Percy Jackson, The Last Olympian. As a kid, like in elementary school, I think I read this book over 30 times, just because I was addicted to Percy Jackson, man.
That's dope.
Awesome. Favorite sport to play or activity to play and watch?
Definitely basketball. I mean, I'm a big baseball fan. I mean, when it comes to watching sports, I'm a big baseball fan. But in terms of playing, basketball.
MacBook or HP with Windows?
Oh, HP, dude.
Nice.
Utility, you know.
That's the fireside round. Yeah, Glizzies, everybody appreciate Glizzies for coming on here. That was an awesome interview with him. And stay tuned, follow him, and stay tuned because as he did spread a little alpha here that Twitter account is coming. So.
Oh yeah.
We hope you guys enjoyed the Web3 experience featuring Glizzies. Tune in next week for a very special guest. Thanks. Take it easy.